Welcome to our explainer, where we are going to crack the code on what it really takes to build a career as a trader on Wall Street. Now, it's a world that gets glamorized a lot, but trust me, the reality is way more demanding than you probably think. Let's get right into it.
So, when you think of Wall Street, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's the high-octane world we've seen in the movies. Gordon Gekko, that famous line, the wild parties, the chaos. It's an image that's really defined the industry for decades.
But here's the thing. The reality of a modern trading floor could not be more different from that cinematic myth. I mean, forget the shouting and slamming phones down. Today, you're much more likely to walk into an atmosphere that's as quiet as a university library. It's a cerebral, super high stakes, but very professional environment. Okay, so let's get to the first and maybe the most brutal reality check of this entire career path, the absolutely staggering rate at which people just don't make it.
Picture this. It's your very first day in a training program. You've beaten out thousands of other applicants to get here, and this is the first thing you hear. It's a stark warning, and it tells you everything you need to know about the nature of this business.
Let that sink in for a second. 90%. That's the 10-year attrition rate that one author witnessed with his own eyes. 9 out of every 10 of the brightest people who get their shot are gone within a decade. That number, it tells a huge story about what it really takes to survive.
So why is the turnover so high? Well, the reasons are pretty predictable, but they are completely unforgiving. A lot of people just aren't built for the constant crushing pressure. Others burn out from the intensity, or they just can't handle the instant objective feedback, where your performance is measured in dollars and cents every single day. And some, they just discover they don't have that deep, obsessive passion for the markets that this job truly demands. Okay, so you hear all that, and you still want to be in that surviving 10%? Well, how do you even get your foot in the door? It all starts with the hard skills, the ones you absolutely, positively cannot fake.
It begins with something the author calls the top 20% rule. The idea here is actually pretty straightforward. To even get noticed in a sea of tens of thousands of applicants, you have to be in the top quintile of your peers across several key areas. This is the very first filter, and it knocks out the vast majority of people right away. So what's on this first test? Well, to get past the computers and the first resume screen, you have to prove you're elite in these non-negotiable hard skills. A degree from a top school with a killer GPA? That's just the price of admission. You also need advanced math skills, a deep understanding of stats, fluency in programming languages, and a really strong grasp of economics. But here's the kicker. Clearing that first hurdle, proving you've got the raw intelligence and the technical chops, that's just the very beginning of the battle. All that does is get you a seat at the table. See, those hard skills, they're really just the tip of the iceberg. What truly determines if you're going to survive and actually thrive in the long run, well, that's a completely different and you could argue much more important set of skills. We're talking about the soft skills.
And this brings us to the ultimate interview question. It's one that's never asked out loud, but it's always being evaluated. It's what some people at Goldman Sachs apparently call the foxhole test. The foxhole test is simple. When the pressure is on, when millions of dollars are on the line and the markets are going absolutely haywire, are you the person your colleagues can trust? It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's all about your character when you're under fire.
So the first and most critical trait, it's absolute, unwavering integrity. In an industry where your reputation is literally everything, one slip-up can end your career. It all boils down to this. Do you own your mistakes? There's this incredible story about a junior trader who made a huge $120,000 mistake. He immediately went and owned up to it, and this was the CIO's response. Instead of firing him, the CIO saw that loss as a sunk cost for the kid's education. By being honest, the trader proved his integrity and earned the firm's trust. Hiding that error, now that would have been the real career-ending move. Next up is reliability. I know, it sounds simple, but in an environment where every single number has to be perfect, you have to be completely dependable. Small mistakes can have massive consequences. For example, one firm had an assistant we'll call Glenn. He got his shot on the trading desk, but he kept making these small, sloppy errors. He just wasn't reliable. And pretty soon, the senior traders couldn't trust his work and had to waste their own valuable time double-checking everything he did. He lost his spot really fast and was sent back to the back office.
And finally, there's work ethic. Let's be clear, trading is not a 9-to-5 job. It is a lifestyle. It demands an obsessive level of dedication because the markets are always moving, and you have to be willing to live and breathe them. Take Peter, for example. This guy was an intern with a perfect resume from an Ivy League school. He had all the hard skills you could ask for, but he treated his internship like a vacation. Long lunches, leaving early. He just thought his credentials were enough. He was wrong. The firm didn't give him an offer because he just didn't have that hunger. So, after hearing the reality behind the Hollywood myth, we come to the final and most crucial point. It's a question you have to ask yourself with just total honesty. Look, the key to success here isn't just about mastering hard and soft skills. It's about deep, honest self-awareness. You have to know if your fundamental personality is actually suited for this incredibly unique environment. So before you even start down this path, you have to ask yourself some really tough questions. Are you actually comfortable taking calculated risks? Can you make snap decisions with incomplete information? Do you thrive in high-stress, fast-paced environments? Can you handle being told you're wrong by the market over and over and over again? And most importantly, do you have that fire, that genuine passion for the markets that's going to fuel you through the inevitable grind? Because at the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to. This quote from that same Merrill Lynch director, it says it all. Success in trading isn't just a job. It's a specific kind of relentless hunger and resilience that you have to bring with you to the office every single day.